Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW here with another video for you, and it's Two Brothers Solo. I must be brave or stupid. We all know that the CCs love having a go at Two Brothers and having great joy and frivolity by taking a number of battleships straight up the centre. But I am alone in this one. I'm not in Division, I'm playing in a standard game, and I'm in the Tier 7 Summers. And well, this could have gone horribly wrong for me, I think I should say, because when you're out on your own, you need some support, and without support, you're nothing. And I know I always bang on about a destroyer's jobs are to spot, capture, and kill in that order for domination. And in Capture the Base, it is spot, kill, and capture, with the base being the last objective. But what I'm going to do here is it's a tactic I use often on Two Brothers to try and catch teams out that might push, and it's to use twist and track or perceptive, and you push in towards the center and you have a look at the indicator to see where the teams are. Now there are 4 destroyers in this game on each team, so at least one of them is going to be running twist and track or perceptive, and if I am the closest to the center and I am located and the indicator is pointed straight up the middle, then there is a good chance that somebody is there and they're going to try a run through the middle. Now I'm not located, which means the DDs have got other targets closest to them, but I'm going to sit here and cover just in case somebody decides to change their mind. But we see the twist and track pushing further out to the right, and then it flicks back to the center, and I thought, oh, here we go, somebody's going to try a run through, they're going to come back and give it a go. Meanwhile, there are destroyers spotted out on the left flank, and I believe they're shortly going to be spotted out on the right flank as well. So this is another part of thinking and playing the game tactically, is looking at what ships are spotted, where they are, and certainly where they are in relation to you. Because with this, if you let the team push out to the flanks, we all know they like to sit out on the side and try and creep in behind the islands. But if you let them push out to the flanks, it should leave you just enough room to squeeze through the middle without getting detected. And so I decide I'm going to take my opportunity now, and I'm going to push through the center, confident that red team are far enough out to either side that I am going to be able to get on their cap. So we've all seen, as I said many times, the CCs get in together in a division and take 3 battleships up here, or lead, in fact, the entire team through the center, and go absolutely crazy on this. Now, as a destroyer on my own, this really shouldn't be survivable, not with 4 other destroyers on the enemy team. But my reasons for pushing through solo on this are because we've let the enemy push out to the flanks a little bit. And in sailing into their cap, they've kind of committed to that left and right side. And in sailing through and taking their cap, they now have 2 options. They either push down those flanks hard and try and get around, or they pull back and defend this cap to stop it being an easy win for me. Now, as I come through, as I said, I'm right, on the limits of detectability of a number of battleships, but in doing so, in pushing through like this, I'm not sitting in the obvious place where people expect you to be, which is just at the exit of the channel at the top. and we get torpedoes out on some of the battleships on the right, and we're looking at this guy on the left who is a John Bart, and he's doing the John Bart thing, and he's just bow tanking. Now I think he's just going to keep backing up, so I put those torps out there. But let's just say that this JB is a very slippery customer. But those two guys out on the right aren't so lucky. And the Iowa there takes a good chunk of torpedoes, but in doing so, he saves the other battleship from taking a few of them as well. Otherwise, I think we could have had a bit of a higher damage score from that opening salvo. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing through the cap. I'm sitting in, I'm watching my twist and track indicator. I know that the Jean Bart is the closest target. And as I said, if I'm located, it means that I'm the closest target to a destroyer running twist and track, or a cruiser that has the similar commander skill, particularly the Russians. And I think one of the premium commanders, Shelley, whatever her name is, that's currently on sale in the store, has a similar skill. Now this JB decides that he wants to come back and defend the cap. We put a single spread out there towards him. We see that the North Carolina is pulling back towards this cap, so I've done my bit in distracting them. Now I want them to hunt me. Because while their attention is completely focused on me, that gives the rest of our team the opportunity to push up those flanks. Because we've got 1, 2, 3 battleships there, and the fact that I'm located means there's at least one destroyer pulled back here as well. So there's 4 members of Red Team, or rather 3 members now that battleship has just disappeared. And I'm going to sit back here and keep spamming my torps out and being a nuisance and a distraction. So I can see that I'm located again. It appears that the Jean Bart, or perhaps a destroyer, is pushing in with that Jean Bart. I know there's a Fletcher out there. He's a feisty gunboat. And I'm just going to keep moving, keep these guys guessing as to where I am, because I've no doubt that Red Team destroyers are pinging the map, given a location for me. But you'll see that the guys who were on the Red Team on the right flank appear to have panicked a little bit, and they're now trying to push out. My located indicator is still there. Twist and track switches to behind me, so I'm going to try another turn and use my engine boost just to open up some ground and try and stop myself from getting picked up. All the while we're watching for these torpedo reloads and just literally zoning torps. We don't care if we hit anything, we just want to keep them guessing where we are. We do get the Fletcher come in on us, and I'm thinking, well, it is a nasty gunboat, and I may not survive this. And I'm thinking, have I given my team enough time and enough of an advantage to push up? But they're taking the time about it. The Fletcher does get me spotted. Those torpedoes are running, which give him something else to think about, and I'm almost on the back of the map. So we get a final salvo off as we run our smoke. Now, if I'm a destroyer and I'm that close to a destroyer that's in his smoke, I'm going to run it down. And that's what I'm expecting the Fletcher to do here. Now I put some torps back out towards that Jean Bart. And as we pop out the smoke, we see the Fletcher, and we're straight on with the guns again. We get a fire on him, and we're going to stay guns on him. I've no doubt that he's put his torpedoes towards us, but those torpedoes that I put out towards the JB narrowly miss him, but they give him something to think about. And there we go, we get rid of the Fletcher, but we also see that there's a Benson pushing in. Now that Fletcher dropped his smoke screen, which I'm very grateful for, because that screens me from the Benson and the Jean Bart. It allows me to drop detection. And now that I know where one of the two DDs is on red team, I'm going to continue to open up distance to him. Because looking at the minimap, I can see that the Friesland, who is a very nice French guy, and unfortunately I don't speak French, but he did an outstanding job in pushing that flank. There are two battleships coming round, and now Mr. Jean Bart there, who was quite happy bow tanking on that corner, has had to completely change the way he's playing this game to either try and kill me or at least keep the pressure on me so that the destroyer can push me, hunt me down, and they can take me out of the game. But I'm heading back towards my blue team compatriots. That Jean Bart is shortly going to be broadside to the two battleships coming round that corner. And again, we're looking at the torpedo indicator. We're lighting them up. I said he is a very slippery customer, but he is going to have to make a decision now in does he continue running after me, or is he going to turn in and try and face the two battleships that are coming round the left side of the map now. So he decides to turn. Now, knowing that he's likely to continue to bow tank, I'm just waiting for my next set of torps, and I put those off, and then I'm going to continue moving away because we can see that Benson. I'm not located, so chances are he's not running twist and track. He may be using something like a Sims build to give himself some extra HP. But we have him spotted, and we're going to just keep moving away, not firing our guns because we want to stay hidden. I want the battleships to get rid of the Jean Bart, and then I've got extra support in taking out that destroyer. The JB does take a torp, and then he takes the last of a full salvo of one of our battleships, and he is out of the game. I am now spotted by the Benson, who must have a little bit more speed than I do, but I'm now just going to turn skinny, and I'm just going to use my back two turrets as I pick up a high caliber. He is again having to think about those torpedoes rather than fire his guns, and that gives me just enough time to get straightened up and open a little bit of distance. But we don't need to stay hidden now. We know that this guy is the only ship that is back on this side of the map. I don't have many hit points left, but I don't care if I die at this stage. I've done everything that I needed to do to give blue team the advantage here, and my French colleague in the Friesland is doing an amazing job of just laying on the fire to that Benson, and he is shortly going to disappear. But there we go. I give them a well done and a thank you for that one. We come away with it with rust and a few bolts holding the ship together at 1700 hit points. We've traded most of our health for a solo push through the centre of Two Brothers, which, as I said, was either very brave or very stupid. Now, having done all that work, I'm now looking at the fact that the Friesland is on the cap, and the chances are it's going to turn before I get back and actually secure myself a little bit of extra XP for some capture points. But the Friesland is going to push out. I think it's a Synop on red team is pushing down for our cap, so they are now split. There is a destroyer going to try and come and defend, while the battleship tries to push in for our cap. But we've got 4 ships back here, so Friesland doesn't have torps. He's got guns. Even if I get killed, the chances are that our Friesland and the 2 battleships are going to take out their Friesland. And with 4 ships on the cap, it's very unlikely that we are now going to lose this game. The points are with us. The clock is with us as well. So we're kind of on a triple win here. We're on the cap, we've got the points, and the clock is in our favour. It's unlikely red team are going to be able to make up the difference. The Friesland disappears, and I'm going to continue sailing towards the central gap again. because for all we know, this Synop might just decide to try and YOLO through the middle, and well, I don't think he's got enough time for it now, has he? But that was a really, really well played game. I say on my behalf and also on the behalf of blue team there that came down the left flank, especially the Friesland, and those two battleships did an outstanding job in getting the fire out onto the John Bart and then helping get rid of that Benson. But we put those torps through the middle just in case the Synop decides to stick his nose through. But as the clock ticks down through the final seconds, this is absolutely a win for blue team. We finish on just under 125,000 damage, 2 kills and a high caliber, which isn't a great haul by any means, but it's not all about the damage. We do finish top of the board with 2473 base XP, and the Friesland very kindly comes in second, having done a great job, as I said, on that left flank. So I've been TONIK, this has been Two Brothers Solo, and if you like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care and goodbye.